In my number 10 spot, I have Gigantic Meteor. Now, the reason why this is in my 10th place is because this is not a bad move at all. I just don't find me using it as often. This is Dragon Ball Z Broly's ultimate attack in his legendary Super Saiyan form. Now, the reason why this is at my number 10 is because it is not the worst in the game, in my opinion. I actually love this move dearly. The only problem I have is that it is so slow at firing, but you can get it into a good combo if you can break that opponent's guard and then immediately go for it. Now, this is why this is at my 10th spot. I really do love this move, but if it were to fire a bit faster, then it probably wouldn't even be on this list at all. But with that being said, we're going to move on to the next one, which isn't that surprising, to be honest. In my number 9 spot, I have Dorado Launcher. Now, this move is not that bad, which is why it's at such a high place on this list. My only problem is that the first part of the attack is super easy to get out of, and everything happening so fast, it's hard to keep up if you are your opponent. And it does do a lot of damage, but the reason why it's at my number 10 spot is because I don't find me using this move very often, and actually any of my builds, except for the one made just for this video, just to show it off to you. And the reason why it's at my number 9 spot is because it's so easy to get out of. You can just basically teleport out of almost all the ki blast, and it is so easy to break the other person's guard. So with that being said, we're going to move on to the next one, which I honestly think deserves the spot in the list. In my number 8 spot, I have Elegant Blaster. Now, this is Zarbon's move, and the only pet peeve I have with this is that it is easy to get out of. See, most people think that it's not that easy to get out of because of the teleporting part of it. But if you just wait until they teleport, then it's super easy to break their guard, just as you've seen on there, without even needing to like dash behind them or anything. It's super easy to get out of at that point. But I do love this move, which is why it's not on my number 1 spot for this list. And I feel like if they could make it a bit faster in some sort of way, that could really help out with the move. And maybe in Xenoverse 3, which I am so hyped for, they could maybe change a bit of this. As you can see, it is super easy to get out of. And we're going to move on to the next one. So enjoy me destroying the Supreme Kai of Time. In my number 7 spot, I have Super Spirit Bomb. Now, the reason why this is in my 7th place is because of how long it takes to activate, and that's almost about it. Now, I love this move, which is why it's not like in my top 5 or of worst or anything, and it is funny to see your enemy panic when you're doing the move and they just keep attacking you instead of grabbing you to get you out of it, and it's super fun to watch them panic. But the only problem is that if you're on like 1 hit left and they try to break your guard, then that's gonna kill you anyway. But if they can grab you and you're on a little bit of health, then that's gonna be bad as well. But now we're moving on to the next one. In my number 6 spot, I have Burning Spin. Now, this is Nova Shinran's move, and the only pet peeve I have with it is you can get out of it easy, you can break their guard easy, and it's just too hard to control. Now, I would think that everyone would agree with me on this and how hard it is to control this move. And with how it starts, it is very hard to not get your guard broken while performing this move, but it is just so hard to control, and that's about all this is for this. It's just, like, I don't know why they thought that would be a good way. I know it was in Xenoverse 1, but they should have made it a bit different to where, like, kind of how it was, like, unrenting barrage, where it would just automatically go in a certain pattern instead of you controlling it, which I think would have made this move a lot better. And this fight takes forever because I was trying to defeat her with this move, but she kept on breaking my guard, and it was awful. And pretty much, I don't know, they should have done what they did with Unrelenting Barrage with this one. But that's about all I have for this move, so we're going to be moving on to the next one. In my number 5 spot, I have Serious Bomb, and to the count, that it is super easy to get out of. Now, when you go for the punch, this is easily blockable, and then when you're going into the Ki Blast, it's just so easy to break your guard, and if you do get the punch, it's so easy to just evade when you get enough stamina. Same with Godly Display, on how when you do the last hit, if they get their stamina back, it is pretty easy to just evade and then do the guard break and try to break their guard. But with this move, it's just almost guaranteed that you're going to get your guard broken every time you use it. So I don't think this move is that bad, but my only problem is that it is super easy to break someone's guard after they go for the move, which is bad for the player using it, but great for the opponent. And how this move is activated, not sure if they could change anything with this move, just make the punch maybe at least break their guard, like maybe make it so powerful that if you block it, then at least their stamina could be broken. But that's about all I could see that could change this move for anyone. But this is pretty good to tag in with certain moves to get it to continue the combo. In my number 4 spot, I have Darkness Rush Ranged. Now, the reason why I chose range instead of melee, or have both of them on this list, which, spoiler alert, the melee one is not in this list. The reason why I did ranged is because I'm basically going to probably say the same things about the melee one. The only reason why the melee one is a little bit better is because you do a little rush into it to grab them, and it just looks a lot better than just your arm extending, which I know for the Namekians that's how it's supposed to look, and it looks cool how you extend your arm, but honestly, the real problem is the damage. If you don't have a lot of, if you're not very leveled up, it is hard to do a lot of damage, like my guy right here. In my number 3 spot, I have Time Skip Molotov. Now, the reason why this is in my 3rd place is basically with this move, unless their guard is broken and they're on the ground, and as soon as they stand up you do it, there's basically no way of performing this move with someone that don't have their guard broken. If someone's going after you and then you do it, you might have a good chance of hitting them to start off the move, like if they're dashing towards you without pressing square necks together as that dash, you might be able to get them, kind of like how you can do that with a grab. Some people do it with grabs and stuff, but it is just almost impossible to complete this move in one successful run, probably without even taking damage. It's almost impossible, but you can combo it with a good stamina break to cause a lot of damage, and that's the only reason why it's not my number 1 spot, because of how much damage it can do. But that's pretty much all I have to say about this one, and the reason why my character did it when they did the dash is because I thought they weren't going to come around to me when I did it. But yeah, that doesn't really work out. The only good thing I could say is that this doesn't break your guard if they go for it, so you can easily just vanish behind them and then maybe try it again, and maybe, just maybe, you would be able to pull it off that time. But that's all I have to say about this one. In my number 2 spot, I have Full Power Energy Blast Volley. Now, this is the beginning move that you get at the beginning of the game, the first ever move that you will ever collect. The only good thing about this is that you don't need to break their guard to go for this move, because it's just so fast acting. But another problem is that when you just do it normally, you don't lock on to your character, as my character is showing with knocking them back, and then it goes locked on. And I didn't even know that was a possibility, because a lot of tutorials don't show that, and the game don't show that as another thing to do. So I just don't really like this move, but it is good for what it's worth as a starting move. Just maybe in Xenoverse 3 they'd be able to give you a second one for free instead of just this one. But that's all I have to say about this one. In my number 1 spot, I have Energy Zone. Now, this is Towa's ultimate attack, and sadly it's the only one she ever has so far, as we know, until Xenoverse 3, and she might be in that game, but everyone is thinking that Fu, or however you say his name, will be the antagonist. Now, the reason why this is my least favorite ultimate attack is only because it don't do enough damage, and Towa needs to get an ultimate attack that can do a lot of damage so she can keep up with the competition, because I feel like she don't get used a lot just because of that one feature of her not having a different ultimate attack. And that's almost all there is for this move. I wish they could have added something like, maybe if you get interrupted, like before you do that instant transmission thing where you kind of transmission into the different position, is that maybe you teleport behind them and knock them back or break their guard again or something like that, just so it'll be a lot better, because it is so easy to get out of this attack. It's not even considered an attack. With all that being said, this is just a sad excuse, to be honest, for a move for someone as greatly known as Towa, as basically the main antagonist so far of these 2 games. I think she could have earned a bit more recognition. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But yeah, this has been my top 10 list of my worst ultimate attacks in Xenoverse 2. I feel like they could have done a bit better with this ultimate attack, maybe doing something else with it, like I said before. And Supreme Kai of Time definitely kicked my butt in this, and it was so hard trying to get this to work for me showing off the move. But with that all said, thanks for watching. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, comment down below what I should play next. Also, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for brand new videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And just to let you know, you can have your own opinions. I don't care what your own stuff is. You can believe in anything you want, as in this list. And with that being said, I'll see you on the next video. Peace.